voting as a court today to decline based on the factors of that I've already addressed is not the prudent thing to do, knowing that we have the ability to come back and perhaps at the same time that there's an election for the, have two ballot options like the gentleman talked about, vote on each of them, or whether we are at that point would know whether the city's going to be in business or not.
Are we still in the public hearing, Judge?
We're in the public hearing. We're going to stay in it until there's because there's a gentleman back there that's still, and I haven't ignored you, but we are still public hearing, yes.
Yeah. So,
I do want to point out, and I promise you I'm going to give it to you in a second, that between John Porras and myself, did reach out to the ESDs that currently operate in Parker County. There's 9 of them that is below the $800,000 threshold of revenue that is specifically in taxable value. Then some, and I think there's some confusion on the sales tax because not all ESDs have sales tax, but some do. But the minimal amount of revenue that is generated from the 10 cent, and I believe the one that's out south in Donna Tillman's, six. She'll kill me for forgetting that. That they do have a sales tax, and that substantially increases that number over. So they're at the 800 and 900,000. So there's none that are out there that are below that threshold, and then ones that have the sales tax obviously then catapults it well over $1 million. So for the ESDs that we currently have now, do have at least $800,000 in revenue that is coming in to operate. So I just want to point that out, that we did look at that. Sir, if you want to come up, or do you have it?
I just wanted to ask the gentleman if the signatures have been verified.
If you would come up and ask that question, and state your name.
And just as you're asking, today is not to consider if one is viable. We're here solely to determine whether to grant the petition for 10 and proceed forward with the election.
I'm Ed Braun. I'm a Reno counsel. I just wanted to ask the gentleman if the signatures had been verified for legitimacy. That was all I had.
What was your last name?
Braun.
Right. Well, thank you, sir. Okay.
I have a question. This December 2024 monthly report, who generated this report?
That'll be me.
Okay.
I don't know what you have a copy of. I haven't been given a copy of what the handout was from Chief
I mean,
Watson.
I assumed it was you because your email's at the top.
I'm sure hope so. Looks like mine.
There's not a, I don't know that I have all of it, but help me understand something if you don't mind. The engine 49, that's the Parker County engine, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Your budget last year under fleet operations.
It's split between 2 and it's a total of 20,000.
Let me finish, please.
Absolutely.
Your budget last year was $10,000. Your budget that you gave us in late January also says $10,000. But in this monthly report, it says engine 49 recently needed repairs to its leaf springs after they snapped in half while responding to a call. We're beginning to evaluate continuing to keep the engine as it is costing us on average over $35,000 per year for maintenance.
Yep, that's correct. Over the last 2 years, it's cost us $35,000. It's exceeded our budget of $15,000. So on my budget is referred to as maintenance and repairs, and they're 2 separate line items. Why it's that way, I can't really give you a reason, but they are the same thing. So it's $20,000, and yes, it has exceeded our budget by $15,000 over the last 2 years on average, because we had a head gasket leak and a fuel leak that I inherited and did not know was an issue. We had to have quite a bit of work done to the truck. So we are absolutely evaluating that on a regular basis, whether it's necessary or not.
What's the age of
Then
that
it
truck?
says
28.
the main issue with this apparatus is that it responds to a large number of calls. which is placing a lot of wear on the truck itself. The truck was designed to be used as a tanker only and was not made to operate as a daily use engine. Chief, with all due respect, you're giving us a budget from last year and from this year that has a 0.1% margin, $9,000 gap for the current, and yet the maintenance cost on your current vehicle that you won't be able to replace for years is running over every year, and you say right here that it was designed to be used as a tanker only and not to be a daily use engine, yet it's the main engine that services the people of Parker County that you serve. I feel like that was pretty relevant information that we were not provided, and we were pretty thorough in our request for information.
So let me give you a little bit more information to answer your question. I stated that in November, we opened the other station and began to operate it daily. Our call volume is approximately 1,800 calls a year district-wide. Reno is approximately 500 to 600 of those calls. Prior to the purchase of Engine 33, the 2010 engine, Engine 49, was running 1,500 calls per year. It is not designed to run 1,500 calls per year. The amount of calls that is required to run now has been cut by more than half. So yes, the cost to repair it, just like any vehicle that we own, if it's get ran every single day into the ground, of course the costs are going to go up. That's why there's amount of funds in our budget to fluctuate and work on that if we need to. I've cut the call volume on that one apparatus that you were concerned about by half.
That's a tough sell.
Well,
That's
I
a
respectfully
tough
appreciate
sell.
that, Commissioner.
Yeah.
So, again, I would respectfully ask the court to remember that the citizens have provided you with a valid petition for ESD10. It's a request to be on the ballot, and I respect each and every one of you and appreciate your time.
Thank you. Anybody else who would like to come up and speak? Last call. Anybody else wants to come
I'll
up?
say one other thing. It's our job to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. The public hearing opportunity is great for that, but it's our responsibility to make sure that the voices of everybody who's involved in this is heard. And past that, it's our job to make sure that this is economically viable. I mean, that's laid out pretty clear. As you make your decisions, I'd ask that you look at those points. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to close the public hearing at 10:26. There's a motion on the floor from Commissioner Conley. Sir, could you state your motion?
I'm going to make a motion that we deny the petition because it's not financially feasible to do so.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Conley, the second by Commissioner Holt, who seconded the motion. We're in the discussion phase. Is there any discussion on this item? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. I would move to the next item, is to adjournment. I would ask for a motion.
I move we adjourn.
Motion second. Let the record show that we'll adjourn at 10:26. Thank you.